Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be taking a deep dive into white culture, and specifically the role that blonde white women play in white culture. Now, we all kind of have this intuitive understanding of what it means to be a blonde white woman and what might differentiate a blonde white woman from a brown haired white woman, where blonde women are often used as a symbol of beauty or power or, God forbid, purity. Ooh. And all we're going to do in this video is examine how this happens, how this continues to happen. It's a cultural phenomenon that has persisted over quite a long time, and we're going to see how. Now, we are primarily going to be talking about the cultural value of blonde white women. And I borrow this idea from an essay called The Social Life of Cultural Value, which basically describes how certain things in a culture are given more prestige than other things. And the way this happens is through the way media presents these things. So in this case, they're talking about a certain register, a certain accent. And this accent is seen as more prestigious. And the way that this association emerges is because in popular media representations, whether it be TV or newspapers or books, this register is associated with prestigious things. And so when these things are depicted in popular media, this knowledge and this association spreads throughout the rest of society. So let's look at how this happens with blonde white women. And our first example is going to be from a movie called About Time. Now, this movie stars Rachel McAdams. And in it, she's supposed to be a relatable, not that attractive woman, which is weird because it's Rachel fucking McAdams. But what they do is they compare her to these two other women. Now, these two women are meant to be more attractive than her in some way, more conventionally attractive, maybe. And the way the movie communicates this is by making these other two women blonde. And they seem to have thought that they need to do this explicitly. Like they needed to make sure that that association was there. So they literally just like...
Even my frock.
I love your frock.
And my hair, it's not too brown.
I love brown.
My hair is too brown. What is my hair too brown to be an attractive woman? Like, isn't that kind of crazy? But I mean, it's not surprising, right? Now let's think about if you were a casting director, let's say, and you love the way Rachel McAdams acted, but you needed to convey her as this powerful, beautiful person. What do? You make her fucking blonde, folks. Same actress. And now she can be
Human form and Regina George. Don't be fooled, because she makes...
All you had to do was make her blonde. Let's go to another example. Obsessed. Now, this movie, again, it's not super popular, but we'll get to more popular examples. But this movie stars Beyonce and Idris Elba. Now, a major premise of this movie is that Idris Elba has this blonde white secretary that he might cheat on Beyonce with. And it's funny because you have Beyonce, and it's really hard to have any other character that is convincingly more attractive than fucking Beyonce. And so when they need to show the viewer that, oh, this is a really beautiful woman, oh, he might actually cheat because this woman is so beautiful, they make her fucking blonde. It's everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. Now, this isn't just in movies. Like all these movies I've shown, you might see when you're like at the earliest, like what, 10? But, you know, this stuff gets into your brain when it's still a piece of fucking silly putty, okay? Because let's say you're a young child and you want to play a video game. You want your first video game. You get a Nintendo and you download a Mario game, okay? There's two princesses in the Mario games. I want you to visualize them. And I want you to tell me who's the main one and one of their defining characteristics. That's weird. They're blonde. That's weird. You might end up making this weird association where blondness is seen as prestigious. Okay, let's say you want to get a Barbie. What's the main Barbie? Fuck. And this, guys, this has been around forever. This has been a thing forever. Marilyn Monroe, beauty icon of the fucking 1950s onward. Right? And she was a blonde woman. Like, these things persisted. This is like, you know, I mean, this gets into some freaky ideologies if you go back a little further than the 1950s. And so we're not going to go there. But this has been constantly reinforced in popular media. And because of that, now we all have this association between white blonde women and beauty and power and perhaps purity. Now, let's talk about this purity thing, because there's this interesting sort of cultural calculus you can do where blondness is seen as an epitome of whiteness, right? If you want to depict that someone is super white, you make them blonde. And similarly, blondness is elevated above other hair colors. In this elevation, you're kind of saying that the whiter you are, the better. And so this elevation of blondness is really just an elevation of white purity, right? Again, not surprising if you look at the history of all this stuff, but it's interesting because it's reinforced in today's culture, right? It's reinforced everywhere. But we don't think of it the same way. We're not thinking that we're promoting the Aryan race. we're not at Livy Dunn yet. But it carries that. It carries the same idea. Okay, now let's take a brief detour and talk about how men perceive women and how men, straight men specifically, approach women and just make decisions about women. Because there's this experiment, this study, where they took one woman and they dyed her hair a bunch of different colors, and they saw how men approached this woman based on her hair color. And what was interesting was that she was rated as more attractive when she had brown hair, but more men approached her when she had blonde hair. And I really think this comes down to the fact that when we are choosing romantic partners, we care a lot about the status that our partner grants us, right? If you're with someone that is culturally attractive, that makes you high status. Now, because of this, a man might choose a blonde woman instead of a brown-haired woman, even if they think the brown-haired woman is more attractive, because they're not just thinking about attraction. They're thinking about the cultural value of blonde white women. And they know that if they have that blonde white woman on their hip, they are going to be seen as better, right? And this is how people make decisions in relationships all the time. Status has always been very central. Now, this leads to a sort of reinforcing cycle, right? I mean, all of this. Blondes are elevated, so people treat blondes better and depict them better. And then now we have Livy Dunn. And she's going to continue this trend. I mean, she's the model of our generation, right? The post-Jenner Kardashian era. I mean, I don't know that much about modeling, but she's the only model I see every fucking where. And now she's selling fried chicken. And it's interesting because we don't think of these things as harmful or these ideas as having any real power, but they're there. They're there and they raise some interesting issues. So that's all.